You can smell all that corned beef and onion there. That is superb. Oh, just look at that. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we are doing a really nice weeknight quick one. You know, there was so much interest in the corned beef and people saying how they eat corned beef all the time that I'm going to knock up a really quick corned beef and onion quiche. So this is good for breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, anything. It's a superb recipe, very tasty indeed. Lovely cold as well at picnics or whatever. Serve it with anything, mash, chips, beans, veg, anything you like. So it's a quick recipe. Now I know you've all seen me make pastry so many times before, and I'll put a link in the description telling you how and why I use the ingredients. And I'm just going to crack on and make the pastry because we have to get some pastry into blind bake. So I've got my butter and my lard in there. Well, it's shortening actually, and I'm just going to give it a mix through, and we're going to crack on and make some pastry quick, smart. Ready rolled, just use ready rolled if you don't make your own pastry. Very quick recipe. Just bring it all together, lift and rub, and then add the wet ingredients, and we will make breadcrumbs. Okay, in with our fluid. Give it a stir around, then we're going to get our hand in and bring it all together. Okay, so that's our pastry all brought together. Okay, for everybody at home, stick on your oven, preheat your oven up, 180 degrees or 190 degrees, something like that. We're going to roll out our pastry. I'm going to stick this air fryer oven. I'm using the High Sapientia air fryer as usual, and I will put it on about 180 degrees to pre-warm. So we got that whirring away. We're going to roll out our pastry straight away. We're not letting it cool, no need for that. I am using quite a large tin actually. It's a 9-inch pie tin, open base. So I'm going to probably break a little bit off actually. And we're going to probably use that amount. Grab yourself a rolling pin and let it start rolling it out. That should fit that, I reckon. So it's an up and in. Just go all the way around, tuck it up to the side, leave a lip on there. That's going to hold the pastry down on the top and stop it from sinking inside. Grab yourself a fork, prick it all over to stop it from rising up, and then we're going to stick some baking beads in, but you can use rice, you can use anything. Take some greaseproof paper, give it a good screwing it up. As you can see, I've used this many times. Just stick that in there and stick your baking beads in, or rice, whatever you're using. Out to the sides. Try and stop the sides from coming in, and that's going in the oven for 12 minutes. Actually, it's going in the oven for 15 minutes. Oh, I've got it in the oven 15 minutes, and then we will take it out, egg wash the bottom, stick it back in. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, as they say, we want some fine diced onion. Now I've got a couple of small onions here. If you use a big onion, you're going to have to split it down, because we actually want a couple of onion rings as well. Now we want a couple of onion rings, so we're going to put them on top of the quiche. Okay, straight in our pan. Want a little bit of butter. Now you can use oil if you want, olive oil, anything like that, but we're making a quiche. We want it quite rich and tasty inside. On with the flame. And in there with our diced onions. And I'm going in there with a small pinch of thyme. Thyme is optional, but you know, we're going to get some flavour in the quiche. I'm using dried thyme. It's going to rehydrate in the butter with the onions. Perfect. Nice little stir around. Doesn't matter if they go brown. A little bit of colour never hurt anybody inside a quiche. That'll do. Off with the flame. One side. I've got some eggs in here which we're actually going to put in the contents of this quiche. We need to egg wash the bottom of this quiche tart out. So we're going to break these up and give them a little bit of beating, and we're going to use this same eggs for the egg wash. Okay, there we go. Out comes our quiche base for now. I'm just going to stick that on there. Now all we got to do is get those beads out of there as best we can. So to make a seal on this, then we need to egg wash the bottom of this tart. And when it goes back in, we're going to put it in for about 3, 4, 5 minutes tops, no more than that. It will seal up the inside. So when we put our wet mixture in, we will not have a soggy bottom. As we all know, no one likes a soggy bottom. Back in. Just about 5 minutes maximum, we'll put that seal on there. It'll be absolutely fine. So in here we have our 4 eggs, and I'm just going to go in there with a little bit of cream. Now you can use milk, you can use cream, that is entirely up to you. We're just going to give that a little whisking. A little bit of black pepper for seasoning, a little pinch of salt, salt, pepper to taste, to mix that in there, and I will probably put a little bit of pepper over the top. Open your tin and get it in a bowl. Now this is a very well-known brand of corned beef in the UK and all around the world, to be honest, affectionately known as corn dog. There we go. This is a fantastic ingredient to have in the cupboard, and something like this for a weeknight, it's so quick to put together. Okay, there we go. What I'm going to do now is just take off the crust of this, just to neaten it up, you know. Now you can do it when you finish, but if you take it off now, the bit that you've taken off actually browns up while you're cooking, and it looks like it's all been done neatly in the oven. Okay, so working with our lovely quiche base, in with those onions. And then just nice and steady over the bottom. We want some flavour all the way around there. Corned beef, just break it into chunks. Put the chunks of corned beef in there. Now for this recipe, I'm going to bang in just a little bit of Worcester sauce. You don't have to, but it does really add to the corned beef when it's cooking in this quiche. You can put mustard in if you so wish. It gives a bit of flavour in there. It's really, really superb. And I'm just going to put a little bit of cheese in there, so when I add my filling, we'll have some cheese underneath. And then we're just going to pour our mix on there. Nice and steady. That's got it, methinks. There's a little bit left in there, but not to worry. And then we're just going to, over the top with just a little bit more cheese. On there with a little bit more pepper. Pepper's optional, but you know, I actually love the pepper on a quiche. So just get some onion rings on there, and they're going to caramelize on the top and sink into the quiche a little bit, I hope. You should give that lovely burnt caramelized onions on the top, and hopefully the quiche will come up and enclose them all just a little bit. Back in the oven, 20 minutes. There we have it. That'll do. Oh, look in there. Oh, there we have it. Corned beef and onion quiche made. Look at that. Right, what we're going to do is let it cool down a bit, because it's obviously too hot at the moment. We're going to let it cool down, let it set up a little bit, and then we're going to give it a cutting and serve some up. That looks fantastic. So there we have it. I've given it a good 10 minutes to cool down. Let's put that on there and take off the bottom of this tin. Fantastic. That is super duper. All we need to do now is put it on something to serve it up. So all we need to do is go over there with some fresh parsley. Fresh chopped parsley, job done. In there. In there. Look at that. You can smell all that corned beef and onion there. That is superb. Oh, just look at that. There we go. Corned beef and onion quiche made. All we got to do now is serve it with something and give it a taste test. Oh, corned beef quiche. Corned beef and onion quiche. Crispy, not a soggy bottom pastry. That is absolutely phenomenal. Very crispy pastry actually. Nice. The flavour of the corned beef and the onions, and a tiny bit of Worcester sauce in there with that quiche is, oh, it's wonderful. That really is comfort food at best. Now obviously if you don't like corned beef, you won't like it. Look at that, perfectly cooked pastry on the bottom, not soggy. That is incredible. That is corned beef and onion quiche made. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. We'll catch you in the next video.